Russian accent when we go live. Oh, we go live now. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Mother Russia. Welcome to TGT, Two Geeks Talking. I'm your host, Kurt Sasso, and we are on episode I can't do it for very long. We're on episode 374 with the creative trio. This is the first time I've had three or more people. Well, no, the second time I should say. Of the comic Godchild, which can be found at godchild.keenspot.com, if I recall correctly. And we're joined today by three talented and creative people. We'll start from left to, we'll start with the brand new person on the call, Allie, the writer of the actual comic. How are you doing today, Allie?
I'm doing well, thanks. I'm Allie, and I write the comic, and it's showing DJ because I'm showing up in his microphone.
That's okay. And of course, DJ Coffman, you all know him from past works, of course, with that have been noted on the show many, many times. And what are you doing on the comic this time around?
I'm doing the co-writing, or there's a little echo. Sorry.
That's okay.
I'm doing the art and co-writing with Ali.
Awesome. And of course, Adam Black, back yet again after a year hiatus from our show here. So welcome back. And what are you up to today with the comic?
I am usually up to no good, but on the comic I am up to coloring, which is a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun coloring. Yeah, I could go on, but sorry, I just had my brain just turned off because I keep flipping back and forth between DJ and Allie.
Oh no!
when the faces swap back and forth too quick, my monkey brain is like, which monkey do I talk to now?
You can stop that by clicking one of our faces and choosing.
Yes.
Choose which one you want to see.
Yeah, choose the handsome person you want to see. In fact, we're probably all going to click on Allie just because it's just easier.
Good idea.
All right. For the next hour, we're going to be talking with just Allie. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh.
No pressure.
Slightly intimidating.
No, it's okay. I have the power to flip between the channels, so that's what they see. But let's talk about Godchild, because that's what we are here for. And for those that have never been to godchild.keenspot.com, any one of you, tell us what it's all about.
I guess she told me I had to go and do this.
Oh, okay.
So, I usually throw it to her. I'm like, Allie, just say what it is. You just do the whole interview. Godchild is about a young lady who has an immaculate. Sorry, there's some echo in this here.
Yeah, that's cool.
Can you still hear me?
Yeah, you're fine. Just keep talking.
This is horrible.
Actually, you know what? If this gets too bad, DJ, if Allie wants to...
Her mic is picking me up.
Is this better?
It's echoing back into my ear. No.
No. How about we do this? We might as well just unplug your headphones there and just have you guys sit up front, and we'll just deal with it that way.
Oh, well, hold on a second, because maybe... Okay. What do I sound like? Oh my
God. Actually, luckily, I just found out I have the power to mute people. Meanwhile, Allie's laughing her butt off in the background.
If I could mute...
Allie, can you unmute yourself?
I'll do what we did last time.
Yeah, no. You can stay there. If I'm talking, he can mute.
Yeah, but she has to unmute herself.
Okay, go ahead. She's going to move to the other room.
Okay, yeah, I hate separating you guys, but
No,
it's not your fault. It's technology. It's the way it is. So, the joy of Google Plus Hangouts. Or you can shut off your camera. Anyhow, yes, we'll eventually get to the part where we talk about the summary of Godchild. But how I first. It's strange. I might have disconnected.
Yeah, it looks to me like you lost them both on this end.
I might have, to be honest. In fact, it looks like I lost myself as well.
Uh-oh. I can see you just fine.
Yeah, no, picture-wise, I can't see myself.
Oh, well. Oh, yeah, you just did lose your picture.
There, that's
Nope, now you're back. welcome back. Welcome back to the show. We're glad to have you.
Oh, well, thank you. So while they're working on the technical issues, Adam, let's talk about Godchild.
Gotcha. I got to tell you, he came to me. Well, he didn't come to me. He put a thing up on Facebook saying about this new comic and I need somebody to color it. And I thought, you know what, I've been working on a coloring style that has been going pretty quick for me and for my own comics. And I thought, well, and I've got some friends like Raven and Vic, you know, and I color some of their artwork. I did I colored some fan art they did for my comic.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a lot of fun coloring other people's art. I realized it's a lot of fun to do, especially with that style. And coming from a guy who used to hate coloring. Oh, he's back.
Oh, yay.
Okay, so our mic situation is not going to work. Are we really echoey?
No, you're fine. You're fine. Don't worry about it.
Sorry about that.
No. So Adam was just talking about how fun it is to color Godchild, but before we continue, let him continue. Let's go back to the very beginning because tell us what Godchild is all about.
Really sorry. Godchild's about a young lady who gets pregnant. She happens to be a lesbian, and she has never had sex. So therefore, she doesn't know what's going on, and as it turns out, she may or may not be carrying the next second coming of the Son of God, or she could be carrying the Antichrist. So there's a church, this group called the Church that's chasing her down. You know, she could probably say this a lot.
Yes, Allie, please talk.
So there's an organization called the Church that has been tasked with preventing the coming of the Antichrist for the past millennium or so. And this time we find that a young lesbian girl has immaculately conceived. We don't know, is this in fact the Antichrist? Is the Church, validated in their quest to murder her? Is she a necessary casualty, to preserve the world? Or, do they have it all wrong? So, when we start into the first sequence, it's not actually Maggie, it's Natalie, who is the last carrier. I don't want to spoil anything, but, towards the end of her scene, she says, this isn't the Antichrist, you're a fool. And it kind of leaves a little bit of doubt as to, is the Church doing the right thing?
Mm-hmm.
And do they actually know what they're doing?
Sounds like a precursor to what's happening in relation today. Sorry, I'm not that religious in that regard. And for those that are, wonderful, congratulations. But
congratulations.
Mazel tov, does that work with this situation? I'm not sure. Anyhow, horrible religious jokes aside, it's actually a very interesting comic because I'd known that, DJ, you were working on something before. I'm glad that Adam came on board, and I'm glad that Ali, as a writer, is this the first time you've worked with DJ, or is this the first time you're doing your own story, or how did you come about this?
It would be the first time I worked with anybody. I went to college for writing back in 2000. That didn't work out very well. Kind of took a detour into healthcare for about 10 years, worked in emergency medicine, saw a lot of stuff, a lot of good inspiration, a lot of things that can happen to people. Mm-hmm. And I'm done with that now. My job's kind of boring, so I'm living vicariously through my characters.
It's not a bad thing to live by. As long as your characters remain interesting to you and you don't kill them by, say, lightning, I think it'll be all right.
Oh.
Yeah, I knew her outside of comics and knew she had sort of a medical background too, and she said she was into writing, and I was always picking people's brains as far as my female friends, since they were female leads who also I don't know much about being pregnant, so I wanted to be a lot, very believable, like what I didn't want to just make it up, so I was picking her brain one time, like what would happen if this, that, and she was just...
Yeah, he's pretty clueless for having 3 children. He has no idea what happens when a woman is pregnant.
When my wife was pregnant, I just kind of like zoned it all out, like wow, that's happening. So no.
Oh, I won't even. I have no answers and or questions along that train of thought. Uh, mo- moving on to the comic itself here, and anyone can jump in on this here on this question, but it's a young comic. Obviously, DJ and Adam, I've known your works in the past through your various comics. What is it like, working with Ali on such a young comic, and where do you guys see it going in the next few chapters and/or issues? Anyone can start.
Well, yeah, I've known Adam for a long time, just being friends online with the different comics and whatnot. So, I definitely needed a colorist, and he's amazing. So, brought him on to. He graciously accepted to color. But, we have like 4 issues of the first arc, the first storyline mapped out and broke down. So. We decided to go with a weekly update schedule for now. We have the Patreon campaign so that people could, we can get into that more later, that people can donate, and it's sort of like an ongoing Kickstarter. Just different ways that we can update more often. But for now, it's weekly. It's a slow burn, and we're going to build towards, a graphic novel.
Nice.
And putting it out there that way. So, and how long it goes after that. As long as we have fan support, if people like it, we'll keep going. If we get through the first arc and
pretty endless,
yeah.
Even if she dies, we can just start again.
It's like the that's right, Train. It's like the never-ending Doctor Who saga, only with a strong female lead.
Yeah.
It's timey-wimey, loopy-whoopy, and all those other funny words that the English say.
I guess I didn't try to pick like all the controversial things. It just kind of came to me a vision of honestly, like the simple thing was a vision of a pregnant girl, badass with just fights and sword fights and just over the top, violence. But then I was like, well, why would people be trying to kill a pregnant lady? The child must be special, and it went from there, and the plot developed, and then all the other heavy topics, like what if this happens to be a lesbian? And I thought, well, that's funny because my train has arrived.
No, that's my train again. I got some of the windows open.
That was a quick interview. All right, then.
I think you're going to end up hearing that train for a while, sorry.
That's all good.
It puts me to sleep every night like a baby, what can I say?
It was the same with me in truck traffic on the streets there, so I'd be dead to the world. So yes, lesbian situation, immaculately conceives, church that may or may not be doing the wrong thing for nefarious deeds, but you also have a ninja. I mean, come on, that's just awesome.
Yeah, originally he wasn't supposed to be a ninja. I think they just kind of call him the ninja. He just happens to look like a ninja because he wears a mask. And he's into having a sword. And
he's very cliche.
He's very cliche.
He's kind of a casual Fridays ninja with his bright red collar.
Yeah.
I gotta say. He's not too concerned about the ninja dress code. He's like, I'll just throw a mask on this and grab a sword, whatever, let's go.
Yeah.
What's that?
He's his own man. He's not going to follow the rules.
We do have a page coming up soon that's a little lighthearted. There's some like lighthearted moments thrown in. I guess just as a little spoiler. He's having pancakes. So
that's a very sensible ninja. The breakfast conscience, most important meal of the day.
I think that was one of Adam's favorite thing to color was the pancakes.
Those pancakes were awesome. They were a lot of fun to color. The melted butter and the syrup, all that down, man. It was a good time.
Gives people something to look forward to in the comic.
I have to say that the red coat's a nice touch. Other than the other professional ninja that we all know, who's also a doctor. So
Oh, Doctor, yeah, McNinja.
Yeah.
That's a webcomic.
It's a good webcomic. You should read it. But we're talking about your comic here. Allie, when it came to writing out this particular story, what was a real challenge for you, even though you have 4 issues, in working not only with 2 other, with DJ and Adam there, what challenges did you have to face in terms of writing out these issues?
And initially sitting down to write them by myself was the easy part. The hard part comes whenever, like I haven't traditionally kind of scripted them. They're more kind of breakouts and like bubble maps, and it's very kind of it's organized to me. But whenever it comes to translating that into an image, it doesn't always come out the way I saw it in my head. I see the comic more than I write the comic, if that makes any sense. But I couldn't draw my way out of anything. I couldn't draw to save my life. So it's frustrating sometimes to try to impart to DJ exactly what I want the panels to look like. But he's a saint. He's a real saint, and we're getting it. It's getting better. But having only ever written, independently before, you're not really used to having to use something so that somebody else can understand it. The words mean one thing in my head, but not always the same thing to DJ.
Yeah, I know. For the first issue, we worked on what's referred to a lot of the time in the comic industry as the Eisner method. We drew it out visually, the scenes. We just sketched it out real loose visually, and then when I get the art completed, then we'll go back and do the final scripting. So a lot of times, like with scenes, or if we're not together working on them, I may have been working on breakdowns where I may have forgot something that was like crucial. Like, for instance, there's a waiting room scene coming up, and I figured I wanted an establishing shot of the main character, so I drew her really big on the page. And Allie walked in and saw that and was like, that's not what we talked about. And I was like, well, I thought we needed to have a big picture of her face. And then she described it to me that she's supposed to look very small in this waiting room. And I was like, oh, so then I just reorganized it. But it's nice to be able to do that, to be able to keep things fluid and changing it. So, yeah. One of these days she'll end up cracking me over the head, I'm sure. But I change it too much.
Whatever happened to DJ? Stylist accident. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. She wants things to be very believable. I like that. We were just plotting out a gunfight scene yesterday or the day before, and I think I just had a guy like running through hallways and shooting people.
There was a guy who had made a lot of noise. There were a lot of gunshots in another room, and he opens the door, and he's supposed to kill somebody. But the panel was this woman standing in the middle of the hallway right on the other side of that door, and I was like, is she retarded? Like, there's a bunch of gunshots happening out there. She's not standing there waiting to get off. Like, she's behind something. She's running. She's something. She's not just standing there. Like, I think it's my biggest pet peeve in movies or literature or anything. It's just things that could be easily out. Like, whenever you could end the movie in the first 5 minutes, like, dude, if you would have just done this, everyone would have lived. Like, I have to write ways that can't happen. Like, I can't.
Yeah, and then and she's never done the comics before, so I'm like, well, if I have to have a girl hiding behind something and then getting shot, well, that's that equals so many panels, and then so I'm like, well, now we're at 9 pages, and she's like, why are we at 9 pages? I said, well, I can't. So it's a learning process. It's fun though. It's fun for me. So I think she's getting there as far as learning that I can just erase things and redo them if they don't look right. But I like having that outside. I like having that outside view of it. Someone that's not used to seeing these things over and over again, so that way it kind of keeps things a little fresh. So
yeah, definitely. And Adam, for yourself here, when it comes to color palettes, have you been given carte blanche, or have you said, you know what, ninja, red leather jacket, pancakes? That's all I wanted.
Well, I'll tell you. I got a spec sheet with some of the some of the characters, and hang on, I gotta do this thing where I'm not looking. All right, sorry. I don't want to have that monkey brain problem again. No. DJ gave me a sheet with some sketches on it, color sketches. So I had a basic idea of what palette to use, but most of it, 75% of it, he just said go to town. And honestly, a lot of the colors that are in there are from the standard palette I use for my own comic.
Nice.
So, because I've got like a standard gold, a standard silver, a standard black, a standard white, and they're not exact values because of just the way the coloring process works, and so it's a lot of it's just autopilot really once you get it down.
Well,
So.
but for you though, what challenges have you had to face when it comes to this particular comic? Because I've seen your work in the past, and I've seen you do black and whites, and I've seen you do colors, and there doesn't seem to be anything that you can't do.
That's nice of you to say, because I sit there with every page going, why is this crap? Why does this look so bad? So no, the pancake thing. The pancake thing is because when I draw my own comic, I've never colored pancakes in my life because my characters aren't doing pancakes. It's all monsters and naked women, right? Yeah. And so to sit down and get to do like pancakes or like a van or just like normal everyday things, it's kind of like a vacation. I'm just coloring and having a good time.
So for the next couple of food strips, you're gonna say, okay, I want a steak, I want a ribeye.
I'll be sure to place my order.
Let's corn on the cob.
That's right. But no, it's not a challenge so much as it's just it's a change of pace, the breath of fresh air that you can. Because and DJ knows this from writing his own comics, that after a while you don't write anything you can't draw. You just kind of fall into a rut. It's like, well, I like drawing this character, I like drawing that kind of fight scene, and so to color somebody else's art, it's nice to kind of like smack you in the face. It's like just step out of your comfort zone, do somebody else's stuff for a while, and color God knows what. He had a nice scene. I think it was the page that went up last week where it's an establishing shot of where the girls live. It's one of those long sort of apartment complexes that you find in like Southern California or Arizona, like sort of like Phoenix, Tucson area, where it's all adobe and all the palm trees are lit from below, and it's all this really nice golden yellow light. That was a lot of fun to draw. Sorry. So no, it's just honestly I may be speaking too soon. There may be some big, huge challenge coming on the way, but right now I think the big challenge is just coloring stuff I normally wouldn't even draw in my own comic, and that's not a challenge because it's a lot of fun. I have a hell of a lot of fun coloring this book.
Good stuff. This is for all three of you, and please, all three of you answer if you don't mind. What is your creative impulse?
I have to go first. My creative impulse is probably because this is sort of like a sickness for me. It doesn't go away. I've tried to make it go away sometimes, where I just try to zone it out. And I'm not going to think that way. But once you've trained yourself to think visually, everyday situations, I find myself recording them, even if it's like an old lady fell down in the parking lot at Shop and Save, and I helped her up. And then she gave me an attitude, and I'm thinking, wow, this is crazy, so I just record things in my mind constantly that I can absorb later into stories, I just feel like there's so many things in there, so that's my impulse, is I need to get that out of me somehow, so.
How about you, Allie?
I guess sometimes I just think I can tell a better story, like I was saying about not liking reading or watching things that have plot holes. I always think I could write that better, but you can only sit on the couch and say I could do a good job for so long until you're just still sitting on the couch thinking, well, maybe I couldn't do a better job because I haven't tried. So I guess this is my stab at trying to see if I can write a better story.
What about you, Adam?
I'm pretty much in the same boat as DJ. I tried to go out and have a 9 to 5 career, and all the stories in my head, it just gets backed up. It's like constipation of the brain, and after a while, you either get that out or you just go nuts. And I've done a little bit of both, and I prefer the letting it out to the going nuts part, honestly.
Yeah, I think for over creative people, probably a lot of people in comics. I know just from studying stories from like the Silver Age artists and things too, like you space out, you zone out. Sometimes you'll be like on the highway and you'll go down 2 exits and you'll be like, whoops, I just missed the hell, because you're just spacing out, like thinking about a story design or something in your head, or late for work, or you just forget what you were doing. So I always joke with her. I said, one of these days I'm going to call you and be like, hey, I'm in Cleveland and I don't know how I got here, but come and get me. So
I do got to say that sometimes when you got a story in your head and it's just running through your head, that when you find out your wife's been talking to you for the last 15 minutes and she realizes that you haven't been paying attention for the last 15 minutes, it doesn't always end well.
I'm listening.
He's done it too. High five. Excellent.
No, really, I understood about that purple elephant. It's great. It's fine. What about it's more of a strengths weaknesses type question. In what areas do you feel that you're most and least creative? Come on, Allie, go first.
Oh, geez. I'm the most creative in writing other people's backstories that I don't know. So I spend a lot of time amusing myself by watching people and making up very elaborate things about them that they may or may not appreciate. And then I'm probably least creative. Geez.
Nope, they're not coming for me.
I think what it goes back to sort of what Adam said too, where you draw what you know, like you just keep drawing the same things that you know. Like when I did superhero type stuff or like action adventure type stuff, I did that over and over again. So I think with this project, I'm actually doing what I was weak with, which was just normal everyday character stuff. Even though there's a lot of action and intrigue and drama and violence and stuff. Just having a story about 2 girls being in love, stuff like that, like making a normal scene, work visually, just people talking is hard, making that interesting for art instead of just talking heads, so that was my one weakness before. I know when I started it with her, my main thing when we were doing breakdowns was I was worried, like, I don't think I can pull this off, I don't think I can do this. What did I say? Like, there was something I kept repeating about, like, having trouble with drawing the girls being believable, believable girls instead of what's usually drawn in comics. So,
You never want to give them any boobs.
I never want to give girls boobs. Contrary to Adams.
I have to make him make all the boobs bigger.
She says, why doesn't that girl have boobs? And I go, I just don't want to.
She's 3 months pregnant. Like, she's not flat anymore, like, even if she was at some point. Like, I don't know. I think you worry too much about, the perception of...
I have like an aversion. I don't have an aversion to boobs. I just don't want to. Yeah, I mean, there's just so much of that, like, where people just draw. I guess what I don't want is I don't want a normal girl to look at the comic and feel like I don't look like that or something like that, There's a lot of girls that come into comic book shops and kind of feel out of place because everything's so,
out there.
But back to you, Adam, with your girls.
I think Adam's the exception to the rule in this case.
I got to tell you, there is a way to draw naked women in such a way that naked women like reading the comic. And if I could claim that I ran across that on purpose, I would, but it was absolutely accidental, and I'm lucky to have found it. Well, the question is most and least creative, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. I had to answer that. I am most creative basically when I'm left to my own devices. and I'm least creative when somebody tries to get me to draw superheroes, because I'm one of those comic guys that doesn't read any superheroes, so I can't get into them. I grew up reading weird comics. I grew up reading like EC reprints, and anyway, that's neither here nor there. Just don't get me talking about horror movies, man.
Oh, good stuff. So I have about 5 or 6 questions I can go with here, but I think we'll go with this one because it's a little more. It's easier to work with. All three again, as all of these questions are all for all three of you, so I don't want to keep repeating that. What are you most passionate about?
Don't make you go first time. Boy, what am I most passionate about?
And it doesn't have to be about comics. It can be about anything, really. It's more of a, where are you in your life right now when you're...
I like to inspire people. I hate when I meet somebody, this is outside of the realm of comic books, but I hate when I meet somebody that's like negative and super like down on themselves and like tells me, oh, you've got this great life and you've got all this stuff going for you and how does luck keep going your way? And I'm like, well, I get up every day and I do it, so I usually just try to inspire people. I made a lot of artists that are the same way. They're like, wow, you've got these great comics and you've got this stuff in print, but they don't want to sit down and actually do the work. So I like to push people. I'm really passionate about, teaching people to be positive, even though it's hard. It's hard. You can't always be that way, but I am passionate about that. So, yeah.
No, I think it's Adam's turn.
Adam's turn. She has to.
Oh, it's my turn.
Flipping over. Sure.
I got to say DJ is very inspirational. It was because of DJ that I got out of my crappy dead-end IT job and back into comics. Thank you, DJ. The thing I'm most passionate about, I don't know what it is. I honestly don't know what it is. And artists will understand this. I'm chasing a thing. I don't know what it is, but it's an art style. It's a way to do a panel. It's a way to tell a story. I'm not sure what it is, but I'm chasing the hell out of it. And I swear to God, I am this close. I'm this close to it. But it seems like I've been this close to it for 10 years now. So every page on the drawing board, every page of DJs I color, every pinup I do, every fan art, I'm this much closer to whatever that thing is, and I don't know what it is, but I can see its tracks in the snow, and I'm just running after it as fast as I can. That's the only answer I got.
Your turn, Allie.
Well, I am passionate about writing this, but it definitely takes a back seat to cooking. My passion is food. I'm kind of obsessed with making the perfect everything. I guess my benchmark is, can I cook something better than I can get in a restaurant? I think probably 5 out of 7 days I'm pretty damn close. It's been a thing for me.
She's a very good cook.
I'll be over in a couple.
You know the way to make a perfect turkey, don't you? I was telling Kurt about this.
Yeah.
You know how to do a perfect turkey, right? Do you? The one simple, it's crazy. I have to tell everybody I know, because it's one simple, ridiculously stupid, easy trick. You know how you cook turkey on Thanksgiving and it's all the breast meat's all dry, or it doesn't quite turn out, or it's okay, but then you microwave it the next day for leftovers, it's all dry and crappy. Do you know how to stop that? Do the one simple trick. It doesn't matter how you cook your turkey, just cover it when you're cooking it, and when you're done, take it out of the oven and let it rest. You know how you're supposed to let meat rest? Let it rest for 1 whole hour.
Huh.
That's it.
I don't think I ever cooked.
No, seriously, I cooked the turkey like that, and then like, for the next 3 days, I'm cutting breast meat off, put it in the microwave, and it's coming out just as juicy as it came out of the oven. It's like magic. You guys got to try it. So there you go.
I'm very passionate.
You're a sorcerer of turkey.
But then I have to ask, is it breast side down when you take it out, or do you leave it breast side up?
No, you just sit it in there normal, put whatever seasoning, you put a little water in a bottle, you add whatever. I like stuffing like a half an apple and half an onion in the body cavity, because I cook the dressing separately, and then you just put a cup of water in the bottom, put a cover on it, cook it normally, and just let it sit for an hour. You pull it. It's magic. Turkey magic. Well, we just share turkey magic with all of you. Yes.
Now the internet knows.
You're welcome, internet.
Turkey tip.
Turkey tips with the crew of Godchild. Tune in next week when Emerald, flips his wig.
Does Emerald wear a wig?
He looks like he should, but anyhow. Bam. Anyhow. Well, we did passionate in that sense. Obviously, everyone is successful in their lives, with either their professions, for where they're working, or for what they're accomplishing in their lives. The question is then, are you each individually, personally successful?
You're personally successful?
With what?
Are you successful?
Are you personally successful?
I guess I'm personally successful.
You're successful.
I'm alive. No. Yeah, I would say so.
I don't consider myself successful. I don't think I'll be satisfied until I have something that people will read after I'm dead, or some sort of accomplishment. Like I wouldn't name anything that I was extremely proud of today. I procreated. Everyone always points at that as a woman when you have children. They go, "Well, you have 2 beautiful children." I don't know. That's not successful to me.
I think I'm successful in that both my kids are grown and neither of them are in prison. So I gotta say that's a step up for sure.
Yeah, that's a bonus. All right then. I guess I'll finish this off as the last question before we wrap up. Unfortunately, time flies really quickly here. Obviously, the younger generation is looking towards yourselves as inspirational people, and if I've asked this to you guys before, just roll with it. But they're looking to you towards inspiration. They're accomplishing things in their lives. How can they become inspirational for the generation that follows them?
I don't know. I don't know if I'm the person to ask. My comic, I don't really want young people to read my comic. No. I would say as far as in art, or just in general, mankind.
Let's go with art. Mankind is really broad, and
well, in art and comics, I would just tell people to keep using the tools, the new tools. Don't get stuck in one ingrained process. Always be looking for the next thing and be ahead of the curve. Don't be afraid to experiment with things. But yeah.
I think they could be, inspirational to the generation to follow them by just persevering. And it takes a long time and a lot of, put out there and have fail and just keep going. I mean, if you just keep throwing things at the wall and seeing if something sticks, eventually, something's going to hit. So, I mean, you just have to show, those that are coming up behind you that, it's hard, but you just keep going, keep digging.
I think that's good advice. I'll tell you what, if I could go back in time 20 years, smack my 20-some-year-old self upside the head, I would say, find that thing you want to do, find that thing you love to do, and don't stop doing it. Just don't ever stop doing it, no matter what anybody tells you. Because I don't know, making comics is like anything else. The more you do it, the better you get at it. And the sooner you start, the sooner you get good at it. So start now. Don't quit. Just go until you're dead, because that's gonna be my plan.
Yeah.
Sounds like a good plan. Is there anything else that I haven't brought up that you guys would like to share with those that are watching and listening to this on our YouTube as well as our iTunes?
I would like to say something.
Okay.
I would like to say that DJ and Allie here, they're all very polite. They're always talking about how gracious they are that I'm coloring a comic book. But honestly, I'm coloring a comic book because it's really cool, and I wish I was writing and drawing it too. So I'm just happy to get some colors thrown at. I'm just happy to just have my little Pinky and my kitty into the pool, just kind of dipping in there every now and then. So thanks, kids.
Thank you, and it's awesome as well to have Adam. He does so many other awesome comics that are out there. So I don't know if you want to put links up or whatnot.
No, of course, I'd love to put them in the show notes, definitely. You know how I am about promotions.
It's nice to have a person working that knows what he's doing.
It's like Christmas when the pages come back.
It's like Christmas.
We get all stoked. I'm like, there's pages. There's pages.
Yeah, I'll be on the couch even, like watching TV or something, and I'll get a text from her saying, "There's pages. You need to open them right now and send them to me." And I'm like,
I can't open the pages. You need to take screenshots. You have to do something.
Yeah. It is like Christmas, so hopefully new pages soon, because I have new black and white pages. We're working on those.
Excellent.
We're getting there.
I can't wait.
It's quite a shootout. It's quite a bloodbath.
Yes.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Oh, good stuff, good stuff. I hate to say it, but that ends this episode of Two Geeks Talking. It's crazy how much time just zips by in these fun interviews, huh?
Especially with all the audio problems.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. Don't worry about it. I've gone through a lot worse earlier on in technological failures. Trust me, this was nothing compared to that. But yes, that ends episode 374 of Two Geeks Talking with the crew, I should say. I was going to say cast and crew for some reason. That's strange. Of Godchild, which is godchild.keenspot.com. Look for their. By the way, when does your comic update?
Every Monday.
Monday, nice. Okay, I'll have to add that to the list then. Look for it every Monday on another great colored page by Adam Black and written and drawn by DJ Coffman and Allie. I forget your last name.
Allie Monroe.
Allie, there you go. Thank you. And of course, you can see their other comics. They'll be posted in the show notes as well. Just send me an email with that information. And of course, look for another great interview coming up next on our 42 interviews in 42-day challenge on Two Geeks Talking, which is going to kill me in some way, shape, or form, if not mentally, then physically. So whoever takes over the reins of this show, good luck. Anyhow, that's beside the point. But look for us on YouTube, youtube.com/TGT Media. Look for us on our iTunes channel, which is itunes.com, and search for the word two, Geeks Talking. And of course, we have our Patreon account as well. Support us for $1 a month or $5 a month or whatever you'd like to support us with, because we have some amazing tiers that are available, which is patreon.com/two Geeks Talking, the word two, again, in that aspect. Thanks, everyone, for watching and listening. Thank you again, DJ, Allie, and Adam, for coming on the show. And hope everyone has a great rest of your night and a great Memorial Day /May 24 weekend as well.